These are true stories of warriors and scholars, kings, soldiers, the wise who spread their knowledge across their borders, whether with boats, foot, camels or horses. I relate to you an imagery of a history which seems to be distorted. There's something I was never taught when I was in school. I was left with foolish thoughts, thinking Muslims were mere fools. I was never taught that the whole world was almost ruled by these so-called fools. Hold that thought. This I give is the history of Islam, strictly giving the facts. Let's flick out a map of a world that you once thought was flat. Back 1,400 years ago, in the Saudi Arabian desert, came down from the heavens holy scriptures to a man to convey the message. His name was Muhammad S.A.W. A man made from mercy, love, wisdom and the truth, inspired men and women to deliver this message down to you, through Egypt to Morocco, right down to Andalus, that we now call Spain. I relate, back in the 700s, Europe was in a dark state like men in dungeons. Listen to what the BBC historian James Burke said about the stench of London. He said people threw their refuse in the centre of the streets. This means feces, urine and whatever filth you can think. Europe was miserable, filth was visible. They were drenched in superstitions. They were barbaric, hard-headed, but said they were Christians. But at the same time, but out this same place, as we go down, the Muslims entered into the south of Spain. Being a part of Europe, this land was the same, drowning in shame. However, after 200 years, out came an age known as the Golden Age. In this age, compared to London, Spain's roads weren't the same. London had mud huts, not even one street lamp to boast, while Spain was paved with street lights and homes, hundreds of mosques and places to bathe. By the way, these aren't just my quotes, these are words from James Burke the historian. He's your BBC host. These are true stories of warriors and scholars, kings, soldiers, the wise who spread their knowledge across their borders, whether with boats, foot, camels or horses. I relate to you an imagery of a history which seems to be distorted. Seriously, this place was beautiful and became a place where there was food for all. Whether you were a Jew or a Christian, you were cool. This dry land began to gush with shoots. Thus came up luscious fruits, almonds, grapes, bananas and oranges. And in the Arabic language, oranges padaku. And what remains next to Spain, the land of the oranges, Portugal. Man, my history teacher was awful. I was taught about myths of all sorts. I thought Muslims were desert men. I thought they were irrelevant. Now I see these so-called desert men brought their intelligence. They taught how to talk eloquent. The Muslims brought their medicines and talks about elements. You want the evidence? Look to our schools in our maths and chemistry, algebra, alkalis, alchemy. Now what type of language has al in it besides Arabic? Now, the Muslims made over 70 libraries, whilst the West never had paper. Oh, this is some heavy irony. In fact, in this rich and sophisticated society, Jews and Christians said, the Muslims are a gift who saved us from tyranny. Students from Europe would travel to sit at the feet of the Muslim scholars, because it was they who had knowledge of medicine, astrology, astronomy, physics and geometry, mechanics, geography, optics, trigonometry, mathematics, chemistry, algebra, psychology, poetry, hydrostatics, navigation and history.